Hey, so glad you could stop by. Today we are going to take a look at some of YouTube's business advice. Today we're going to look at Tony Robbins' advice to entrepreneurs. He's a life coach, but what does he have to say about entrepreneurs? Let's grab a cup of tea or latte or matcha or whatever it is you're into and get to watching. All right, got my iPad ready.
Hi, I'm Tony Robbins, and you're watching Behind the Brand.
Hi, I'm Brian Elliott. Welcome to another edition of Behind the Brand. Today I'm here with business and life strategist, #1 New York Times bestseller, and philanthropist, Tony Robbins. Tony, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Brian.
Maybe look into this camera and give entrepreneurs.
First off, I just want to start off by saying, if you are new here, know that this series of Entrepreneur Reacts is not about bashing other channels. It's not about drama, so if that's what you're here for, I'm probably not your people. What it is about is helping you get the self-awareness you need to decide whether or not the advice that's given is good for you. Just because it's not good for you doesn't mean it's bad advice. But let's help you figure out whether or not this is actually going to work for where you're at.
Small business people, whatever, sort of your best advice for success. First maybe define, this is what we should be focused on. This is the definition of success, and maybe here are some tips how to get there.
People ask me all the time, what is success? And it's so individual. I would never tell somebody else what success is. I would say, when most people are pursuing success, I think what they're really pursuing is not a word. They're pursuing a greater quality of life. And in order to have an extraordinary quality of life, it's got to be life on your terms. And,
100%. And that's what I'm saying. Like, self-awareness is going to get you to where you want to go. And that's why we're doing this series in this manner, so that you can find the self-awareness you need to get to where you want to go, and not sit there and be like, there's so much advice out there, what do I take seriously and what do I get rid of, and how do I know if it works or not? And that's exactly what he's talking about, is what is success for you. So let's keep watching, see if we can break it down some more.
Some people's idea of an extraordinary life is, writing beautiful poetry or having a garden. Some people's idea is building a billion-dollar company. Some people is 3.2 perfect children. I don't know what the 2 comes from, 0.2, but they do. Everyone has a different idea. So my approach to helping entrepreneurs, business people, or anyone is to say, you got to figure out what is an extraordinary life for you. What would that look like today? Not 5 years ago, 10 years ago, but today, the way you look at life.
So often, we sit there and we are miserable where we're at, and I've been in that spot before, believe me. We're miserable where we're at, but then we don't have a clue where we want to go. So we need to figure out what an amazing life would look like for us first, before we can figure out whether or not the advice given is gonna work for our life or not.
Alive instead of an old story. And then there's 2 skills you got to master. The first one is the science of achievement. And it's a science. I spent 4 years interviewing these people, and I interviewed the smartest financial people in the world, and I picked no one from the Lucky Sperm Club. Nobody that inherited it. They all started with nothing, became multi-billionaires. And what you learn is they do it different ways, but there's some universal patterns, and success leaves clues. If you apply the same results, it's a recipe. It'll work for you too. I've done it, other people have done it. Same thing's true with your body. We're all biochemically unique, but there's certain fundamentals that are universal. There are laws, there's a science. If you violate them, you're gonna have low energy disease. If you align with them, you're gonna have high energy. So there's a science to achievement. But the second master lesson for an extraordinary life, I believe, is even more important. Because I've dealt with so many achievers that are still miserable. They got everything. They got their Academy Award, they got their Golden Globe, they got, they took their company public, they got $1 billion net worth, and they're miserable. So to me, that's insane. And the reason is they missed the second master lesson of life, which I call the art of fulfillment. Art, it's not science. Because what's going to fulfill you is different than me or this gentleman here. I'm sorry, I don't know the cameraman's first name, but whoever it is that was with you. It's like, if you want to know what the universe or God loves, go to the forest.
Right now is exactly why two people might be on a very similar path, but I might give them very different advice depending on who they are and what their goals are, what they want their life to look like, what they think success is, all of those things. And that's why I'm here trying to help you figure out what that looks like for you, and whether or not all of these things are gonna work for you or they're not, and what to pick up and put in your little shopping cart of growth and what to leave behind because it is not for you. So let's keep watching.
Diversity, it's not the same thing. And when you look at, maybe a good example is if you go to an art show. You ever gone to an art show in LA or New York, like a high-end art show, and you walk in and you look at the painting and go, you're joking, right? This is not art, right? How much is it? And the guy goes, $10 million. You gotta be nuts. I'll give you an example. Steve Wynn, you know, who owns the Wynn Hotels, as again, a good friend of mine, called me up on his birthday a few years ago. And he says, Tony, come over to my house. He goes, my birthday. I said, I know, I'm looking forward to seeing you. He goes, no, you gotta see something. He said, I have coveted this painting for years, and I just outbid everybody. I spent $80 million for this picture. And I was like, painting. And I said, oh my God, I can't wait to see it. So I'm picturing, I don't know, some Renaissance thing. And I show up, and it's a Rothko. Do you know what a Rothko is?
No.
It's an orange and red square, a big, giant orange and red square. And it was $80 million. And I said, Steve, I said, give me $100 worth of paint in an hour. I can pull the shit off, I can promise you. And he laughed. He goes, no, you don't know the story. And here's what's so cool. He finds $80 million of the value there because he must be 100 times more sophisticated than I am. Because I'm going, it's an orange and red square, right? The beauty of life is our diversity. If you want to see the ultimate failure in life, it's success without fulfillment. That's the ultimate failure. The art of fulfillment, I think, is the more important of the two. So he asked me to look in the camera and talk to these entrepreneurs and say, you know, what's the most important key to success? I think it's hunger. It's not getting satisfied. You know, if you look at a Mark Benioff at Salesforce, if you look at Richard Branson's friend of mine, or you look at anyone you respect who's achieved at the highest level, intelligence is an incredibly important distinction and a valuable thing to have in life. But I always tell people, you can find so many intelligent people that can't fight their way out of a paper bag. What matters is hunger. A hunger that doesn't go away, a hunger to learn, a hunger to grow, a hunger to serve, a hunger.
When we are growing and progressing, that's where we thrive, that's where we live. And when the growth has stopped and we've stopped progressing, we start to die inside. And you can tell the ones who are living in growth and those who have started to die off. No matter where you're at on that scale, there's still time, because I know this because you are still breathing because you're watching my video. So there is still time. It doesn't matter how old you are, how many missed opportunities you've had, you can still grow. But you have to be continuously progressing to be able to grow and be able to progress. You know what I mean, right? If not, leave a comment below and let me know, because I will try very hard to re-explain that, because that wasn't a very good description. But yeah, those that have stopped growing have just kind of given up, and they probably had dreams at one time, but they've given up on them. They could still turn on that scale and go back to progression instead of dying off, and they would be happier. And if that story is yours, you still have time to go back the other direction on that scale and start growing and progressing and really be hungry and get the success that you want.
Hunger to give, a hunger to create breakthroughs. Most people are hungry until they make a certain amount of money and then they get comfortable. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not about the money. It's not about the business. It's about your growth, because every one of us either grows or dies. People ask me all the time, what does it take to be happy? I say one word: progress. Progress equals happiness, because achieving a goal feels good for how long? A week, a month, 3 months? And then there needs to be something else. And the reason for something else is because you got to grow. And I think if you can decide that success is life on your terms, but it's also a meaningful life where you found something you care about more than yourself that you want to serve, whether it's your family or a community or a mission or your company, then you're blessed. And success is that experience of not only achievement, but fulfillment. And it can't be achieved unless you're growing and unless you're giving in ways that you're not positioning and giving. It's not what other people say, it's what you know in your soul. And I think if you can find those things inside yourself, they're not easy.
So there's only a few more seconds left, but I will link that video down below. It's actually from Behind the Brand. So if you want to watch that, I will link that down below. And again, this channel is all based, this series is all based on your personal development. Like, you specifically, whether or not this is going to work for you, and I'm just here giving you some tips of whether or not this is good advice for you. Just because it doesn't work for you doesn't mean it won't work for other people, because we're all very different. We're all wired very differently. Some of us too are wired to be entrepreneurs, and some of us are wired more towards employees. There's nothing wrong with either one of those things, but we have to have a lot of self-awareness to be able to know where we lay and all of that. And I'm somebody who is very much wired to be an entrepreneur. Like, I'm not happy unless I'm focused on 25 different things. And that's just me. But not everybody is wired like that. I have one of my best friends in the entire world is not a doer. And it takes a lot of work for her to do things. And she is definitely not wired to be an entrepreneur. But she's amazing at ideas. So amazing at ideas. And amazing at creativity. And not like creativity as in like creating things, but creativity in like this imaginary world of like where ideas lay. And a lot of us lose that, and so we just get stuck in our own, we have ideas and then we get stuck there because we don't go into that imaginary space anymore of like those spaces that it takes to be things like a book writer, an author. Words are not always my thing. I love language, but sometimes words just, you know. But anyways, so the authors have a great imagination. Imagination is the word that I was wanting to use. It takes an amazing imagination to be able to write a book or play with kids or different things like that, and many of us lose that. And so people like her are freaking amazing, and they help balance us doers out a little bit of, hey, here's some ideas for you to keep going forward, and then us doers can balance them out and going, hey, here's some actions you can take to get to where you want to go. And you know, it's helping, it's knowing who you are, how you're wired, what's going to work for you, what's not going to work for you. So I hope that this series is helping you become more and more aware of where you're at, who you are, and what is and isn't going to work for you. So leave a comment down below with any of your questions. Also, I think I forgot to mention in my last video, but you can text me anytime you want. You can DM me, text me, whatever. But here's my number right here. I think it will be changing soon because I am switching services. But you can text me at this number for now. When it changes, I will make sure to change it in the description down below as well. And I believe in you. You are capable of greatness. I love you so, so much. And as always, dream big and take action.